Hello guys, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can uh, improve your fishing. I know there are a lot of, casuals, not that's bad, that don't use these tips, but I think everyone should be using this. As you know, fishing is very time consuming, and if you don't, fish, then don't really know what you're going to do, because if you don't fish with these methods, you're going to be wasting your time. So, hope you guys do enjoy this video. Hope you guys do take the advice, improve your fishing quality. So guys, the first thing I have to recommend is go somewhere where you can, have it rain. The first option I recommend is Spider's Den, and it'll just start raining every once in a while. 20, maybe 40 minutes of rain. It'll very highly improve your fishing speed. I believe it also will improve your sea creature catch rate, stuff like that. Just in general, fishing while it's raining, really nice. It's also kind of relaxing if you just listen to it. Though again, that's up to you. So yeah, that's I recommend. Spider's Den is probably the first place I recommend. In the Spider's Den, there are a few locations I recommend. You can go where I am now, which is by the Hub Island in the fishing den, or you could also go to Hub Island. There's the Mushroom Island as well. I believe you could go to the park within the spider stem. There's a pond there in the Birch Park. And lastly, there's also the Fisherman's Hut and the Fairy Pond next to each other, so you could do either. I recommend either where I am now, which is the Hub Island main, or you could also go over to where the fishing, where the clay guy you get clay from. That's also a nice place that I do still recommend here, just because when you're fighting mobs, this is an easier place to go up the mountain, hide, whatever you need to do, and also it's a bit more confined. But the second option I have still will, get you a good amount of, right here, Birch Park, it will get you a good amount of rain and stuff. That will cost, as you can see, 5,000 coins per 5 minutes. Or no, per minute, sorry. I guess, I don't know. So yeah, it's very expensive, but also it will bring a lot of rain, and also it will bring randomly spawned squids, which is good for bait ring. Though I'm guessing if you're fishing, you're going for fishing levels and not bait ring. So yeah, those are the two locations I recommend. Hope you guys do use one of them, just because it will help you improve. But after that, the next thing we should move on to will be the cleave, which is an enchant for swords. So while I don't always recommend swords, I do recommend for emperors and for monsters of the deep using cleave, just because, as you guys can see, you get double dark bait, or you have a chance to get double dark bait, double emperor scroll, stuff like that when you are using cleave. These are just clips of me, using cleave on the monsters of the deep and getting the double dark bait, which will help you fish some more, give you extra bait. You don't have to spend stuff on. So level up fishing is my third one. This one is more so for people that say fishing is not profitable, as this is just to show you leveling up fishing isn't necessarily made for just faster catch time and stuff. It's made for better treasures. If you get treasures, you can get money. There's enchanted diamonds, coins themselves, a bunch of stuff. This is more enchanted gold, Titanic experience bottles, Grand experience bottles, enchanted pufferfish. I believe sponge is also in there. I believe there might be enchanted iron, a bunch of enchanted stuff like that. It's just, in general, it's really good. It can really help you out. Music discs are also that, though I don't always recommend keeping music discs unless you want a collection yourself. But yeah, it's very common. Like, I'm level 26 at the moment. Most of these recordings are when I was 25. I didn't get 26 till the end of most of these recordings, but it's, yeah, level 25, level 20, whatever. They really do help you get common, like, as you guys saw, golden apples, enchanted golden apples, coins, any of that. Really easy to get once you get a good fishing level. Helps you get profitable while also increasing more fishing level, getting higher ranking, stuff like that. It's really good. Do recommend it. Yeah. So, I mean, this isn't the only method to get money, but this is the main, in my opinion. You could also, resell stuff, craft stuff, really anything that has to do with fishing, but that's for a different video. This is mainly just to get money while you're fishing, as opposed to doing it later. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic, which is fight with rods. Yes, I did say to get cleave, but that was only for those two mobs that I had mentioned: Monster of the Deep and the Emperors. If you're not fighting either of those, I do recommend fighting with a rod because these mobs can do a good amount of damage if you're in Angler armor, which I also do recommend. But most people know that. So yeah, use rods. They do damage. You can use hot potato books. You can use looting, which is also something I recommend. You can use a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's great to use a rod while fighting. Like right here, Hydras especially, they give a lot of experience, but if you die to them, you lose the Hydra. So I recommend using rods, keeping your distance because you cannot use bows. Rods are the best projectile weapons you have. Fight these mobs with rods. Rods again, like my Rod of Legends is maxed out other than the cosmetics, which would be using Rune, which I don't like. But yeah, Shredder as well. If you guys do want to fight more mobs, if you guys want higher level fishing, and you want higher level mobs from fishing, then I do recommend trying to get a Shredder, trying to fight these mobs with Shredders, just because they can tank, they can do a lot of damage. Shredders will deal way more damage and they have projectile. Also, these mobs, the ones that you will need this for, while they are strong, they also are worth it, as you guys did see from these Hydras. I do get fishing talismans very frequently. This is another way to make money. So yeah, try not to die to these mobs. If you need to, use rods, retreat, whatever. You just need to, fight with rods whenever you can, as long as it won't affect your drop shits. So that's also why I do recommend getting looting on these rods. And, on any weapon you're going to use, no matter what. Because fishing mobs, not enough people fish, so the market's very there's a good demand for a bunch of the stuff like the healing ring, but there's a small amount of sellers just because of how much you have to grind to get the lily pad collection, to get the lily pads themselves, stuff like that. So yeah, that is my recommendation. My next recommendation, which is I've repeated many times, always use looting. These mobs will drop talismans and a bunch of other stuff, which, like, right here, I'm getting a Magnet 6 book. That's not worth that much, but there are some books, like Caster 6 books, which is why I use Carabate, and Luck of the C6, which can sell for, like, millions of coins, if the demand's high enough. So, yeah, I always say, use looting, whether it's on a sword, on a rod, on an axe, on even a hoe, I don't care. Use looting. It's good. It'll help you out. And also make sure you save those books, those talismans, all of that stuff you get from drops. The Hydra heads as well can sell for like 100k or so, which is good profit. So yeah, save that. But after this, I say this is what happens when you put it all together. So this is just an idea of what you can get. I had summoned an Emperor, and I started recording right after because I had wanted to get this on recording just to show you how all of this goes together. So I do have my rod, I do have my cleave sword. So yeah, I'm just fighting the Emperor from up high, which is why I do recommend using this location to fight mobs. And I am attacking that Emperor, I'm killing it, which, you might want Optifine as well just to see health if you're fighting from a mile away. Just because, the Emperor not only shoots his bow, but he also does have the Guardian's beam, which will also hurt you. Also, do be careful because if you make a mistake, you can end up just throwing throwing the Emperor directly towards you, which I also do not recommend. The Emperor is very tanky. It does a lot of damage if you're wearing like Anger armor, or really any armor. It's second hardest boss after Yeti, which isn't that common to get. So yeah, I say use rods for Emperor, and also keep your distance. So right now I'm just fighting the Emperor. It's really cool. I like Emperors. I really like how it looks. If you guys can see it, it has a really nice design, but that's not what we're talking about. So yeah, I am also making sure both my rod and my sword have looting just for when I'm done with it. And yeah, again, location's good, all of that's good. I make sure to do it correctly, and this is just what it looks together. So I'm just fighting it. I also do recommend, I believe it is Frail 6, if you guys do have extras of those, no matter the rod, try to put it on that rod, as Frail 6 will summon your mobs with 30% less health, will help you out. For example, this Emperor lost about 9,000 health by the time I summoned it, so it only had 21,000 as opposed to like 30,000 it would normally have, which makes it much easier to kill. Same with like Hydras and stuff, they get much less health. So yeah, I also recommend taking that rod, bring your Emperor down to so that it's like 1 or 2 hits away from a rod kill. That way you make sure you don't accidentally kill the rod and miss your time to use cleave. Like my rod does either a few hundred damage or like 2,000, but Emperor has a lot of tanky stats, so it only does like 600 max damage per rod hit. But yeah, so I just get him down to about, I'd say, somewhere between 400 health and 800 health. Right now it's like 590. I just go, I get it, and I get double Emperor Skulls, double everything. So yeah, that's what it looks like when you put it all together. Hope you guys did find this video helpful, and have a nice day. So peace out.